Hello, Mississauga. It's very fitting that I'm joining you from beautiful Celebration Square today because celebrating is exactly what's on the agenda. Before we recognize an outstanding group of Mississauga residents, I first want to share with you a short video that highlights the overall kindness of the amazing people living in this community that we call home.
This isn't a story of a city separated, but of one coming together. This is about the now, not the why, the when, or the how. It is in the now where we find opportunity.
How's our yarn craft group?
Where we find pieces of ourselves we didn't know were missing. Where we support, we sustain, we nourish one another. Where we start new projects. Some projects better than others. We persevere for personal growth, to achieve greatness, to innovate and create something new. We've done it before. We are all doing our part, no matter how big or small the gesture. It is in this spirit we continue to build towards a brighter future, because we're ready, and we're strong enough together to weather the now.
I've always said that we are stronger together, and I think that video highlights this sentiment beautifully. Now, I have a very important question for all of you. What is more impressive than a superhero? If you said a Mississauga COVID hero, you would be correct. Now, they don't wear suits of armor or leap from tall buildings, but their contributions to making the light shine a little brighter in our beautiful city since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic has been motivating and inspiring. For more than a year now, Mississauga has proven that we are stronger together. This strength comes from the glue that is not only holding us together, but bonding us as a community. Our COVID heroes are that glue. These individuals, groups, and local businesses could have said, no, not me, maybe tomorrow, but instead, our heroes rose to the challenge to help our community members. From sewing cloth masks and providing free meals to those in need, to working on the front lines in healthcare. Wherever there has been a need, there has been a hero. As I read through the nominations for the COVID Heroes program, I was overwhelmed with pride for the people that make up our city. However, I wasn't at all surprised by the incredible ways in which our residents have gone above and beyond to help their neighbors and the community as a whole over the past year. It's easy to grow and succeed in the good times, but to thrive in the challenging ones, that's when we start to see the light shining through the cracks. You are that light, Mississauga, and I see you. That's not to say that any of this has been easy. The burden you have felt has been heavy. But there you were, lifting up others in a time of great need. My fellow members of council are also overwhelmed at the selflessness and generosity we have seen from our amazing community members. I would now like to welcome them to share some of the examples of COVID heroism demonstrated in each of their wards.
Her efforts and tireless dedication have raised a tremendous amount of money and tens of thousands of prepared meals for the Mississauga Food Bank, the Compass Food Bank, local churches, community centers, frontline workers, and residents in need across Mississauga since the start of this pandemic.
When PPE was impossible to find, members dug into their fabric stashes and got to work to support local hospital staff and other essential workers. Collectively, they shared pattern ideas, tips, and hints to produce more than 2,500 masks for hospital personnel and patients, family and friends, and community groups. They also created hundreds of scrub caps for nurses, doctors, and dentists.
Thank you to all the teachers, administration, and support staff for being on the front lines to support students and each other. Thank you to the Parent Council, Student Council, students, and families for supporting, uplifting, and connecting one another and ensuring no one is left in isolation. You continue to make our city more resilient every day.
Many people were unable to afford groceries, PPE, special cleaning equipment, and the volunteers were there. No one turned them down. They prepared meals, they delivered supplies. It was really wonderful.
The school-age volunteers organized a virtual program to train seniors in the use of smartphones, tablets, and laptops. During the 3 virtual sessions, more than 200 seniors enrolled in the program. The trainers spent the necessary time to ensure that the seniors understood and learned the different technologies.
We have an amazing group of women, men, retirees, and students that have been making masks in Mississauga for the past year. Early on, this group recognized the importance of masks and took action. There's no doubt that these masks have saved lives, and they look great, too.
As an emergency department nurse at Trillium Health Partners, she has been the hero society needs right now. Through the first, second, and now third wave of this pandemic, she has always shown up, like so many of her peers, day in and day out, fighting for us.
She has always been passionate about working with seniors, but in her new role, she understands the impact isolation and loneliness have on our senior population. With that in mind, she focused on addressing these issues and going the extra mile with every individual, regardless of their circumstances during the pandemic.
In order to support the most vulnerable population and frontline workers, he took the initiative to gather volunteers and deliver more than 100 hot meals to a local police division and shelter to support Mississauga's unhoused population.
She began by sewing face masks at home and donating them to the hospital volunteers. She continued by displaying the masks on her front porch and selling them for $2 each, with all the proceeds going to the Streetsville Historical Society.
To those who were never too tired, never too busy, and never too indifferent to help, I have the simplest yet strongest words to share. Thank you. Thank you for never saying never. Thank you for always believing that tomorrow can be better. And thank you for showing us all what true strength looks like. You make me grateful every day, Mississauga, and I have never been more honored to live and work among you as I have been over this past year. There is an after COVID. There is a bright future ahead of us as we continue to grow and to succeed. There is an end to this story that includes all of us, and I can't wait to write it together as a community.